Hello, everybody, and welcome to an episode of Analytics Mindset. It's been a second, but we are coming here with a new certification. This one is the Microsoft Applied Skills Streamline Business Workflows with AI Chat. What is AI Chat? AI Chat is Microsoft's very fancy way of saying Copilot Chat. I need to be honest here. I do have some personal views on use on AI, and I think this one is a little bit outdated. I still finished it because it was a certification. It's free. Why not? But we recommend you taking it. If your role is more technical, let's say you interact more with databases or you just have more powerful agents, I would say no, it is not really very useful. But if a lot of your job relies on, let's say, just sending emails, trying to curate stuff, trying to make presentations, or just trying to summarize documents, this is useful. It's not going to be the most useful of the bunch. And you know that I usually try to take advantage as much of certifications, but this one is probably one of the least useful in the bunch. Without further ado, this certification requires an assessment of 45 minutes after you finish the content, and I will just go really quickly through the content and why I think it's a little bit outdated. The first things first, you will need to actually do the actual learning path. It's 3 hours and 30 minutes. I would say that's a little bit deceptive. A lot of it is just waiting on Copilot to do things. You will need an actual Copilot, a premium license to do a lot of this stuff. I do not have one, nor in my personal or professional use, unfortunately. Therefore, I just prefer to do it the very old way. Why not? Just do it with Copilot and see what happens. Again, it is not that complicated. I don't expect a lot of friction here. It is divided into these different modules, and we're going to go through each of them. The first one is productivity with AI powered chat. So, what is this thing about? AI powered chat refers a lot about how you can actually do productive stuff with Copilot chat. What's Copilot chat? Is this very funny thing looking here that most Windows computers come with it. It has access to a lot of your documents, a lot of your stuff, if you have the premium version. If I open my own Copilot, my personal one, and I ask it, can you look at my OneDrive and see these things? It is not going to be able to do it because it doesn't have the enterprise license. That's a cap that happened. And that's something that you need to be aware of. As we move on to more method AI, and a lot of these other AI tools are being more and more restricted. Used to be that Copilot, the free version, was able to summarize your documents. It doesn't do it anymore. You gotta have a very specific version, not even just the enterprise version, but also the premium version of the enterprise one. Even in my enterprise account, I cannot really summarize my emails. Copilot is going to just not be able to do it. But if you happen to have the enterprise license or your company has the enterprise license, better yet, you will be able to do a lot of this stuff. You will get introduction to Copilot Chat, what it can do, how you can use your data for that, how can you use Copilot Chat to gather external information. It can do some searches, it can use Microsoft Graph, for example, and then you also have some other things like research, etc. And I'm just going to go really, really high level on it, where you can use your organizational data again if you have a certain type of stuff, or what I use Copilot the most, you can just go to the public web. That is what a lot of these AI tools are very good for. You just have them, search the web, scrape the web, see what's happening. Can you give me the most current events with this given topic? That may be into 5 different or 10 different websites, and then I can refer to each of them. I don't have work IQ. As I said, this is the premium users where you can use Copilot to reason across your work data in the web. That's very powerful because you can use both your work data, what you have in your actual computer, and the web. The web will be with targeted web searches, while your work data will be using Microsoft Graph that we have actually discussed it before. Now, one more thing here that I want to say is that I still think that it's useful for you to try to get the module assessment. Why? Because At the end of the day, you're investing some time of this. If you decide to take the certification, that again, I don't recommend it, but you can. This allows you to think a little bit and just reflect where would I use not only Copilot but any AI tool. What would I do here? How would I do this? Could I use another tool, etc. That's just something that I recommend. It's very easy to just go into default mode and go through all of it. But some critical thinking, just thinking for a bit, how will I do this here and there can help. Drafting impactful documents using AI. A lot of people should be used to this. This is what a lot of ChatGPT licenses are used for personally, where you will draft documents using Microsoft Word. Now, Copilot has nice integration with Word because you can both say read these documents again if you have the premium version, but you can also say after you create it in Copilot, export to Word. It's done. Now, something you need to be take care into account is that Copilot can only read stuff and upload stuff to your OneDrive. It does not have the capability to write to your local. Therefore, that is just something that you need to take into account. There is other LLMs that can do that. We know that Copilot can't. At least not in this current iteration, needs to be in OneDrive. It makes sense from Microsoft's perspective because Microsoft is also very worried about data security and where things go. Makes sense on that. But again, not a lot that you just will have this coaching. You can rewrite text, you can replace and substitute text, you can insert below, you can regenerate. Visualization is also something nice. Copilot can create tables very easily. That can help you a lot when you are out of time. I need a table. I could do it myself, but it will take me time. I can just do this, prompt it, convert this into a table and add this into here. And just to keep in mind, even if you don't have Copilot, the premium version, I personally do a lot of this stuff in chat. You can still open Copilot chat and say, it's not going to have access to your documents, but you can just copy and paste. Here is this, make me into a table, or I need a slide, create me a PowerPoint slide given this content. It's not the best, it's not going to be the nicest thing ever, but it could be useful if you need some time, if you're in a time crunch, for example. And then you can also see the Copilot pane. It will allow you can do allow editing or chat only mode. So in that case, while you are opening Copilot in Excel, in Word, etc., you can say Copilot can do whatever it wants. It can edit the documents, it can modify them, or you are restricting it to just chat. And you can ask anything you want. I mean, it's like any LLM. And then you can use the writing coach agent that it's being absorbed in Copilot itself, but basically helps you reviewing your document, making edits as needed. And you can see there is a lot of limitations here. You only have some languages supported, not all of them, sensitive information, AI accuracy, that's a disclaimer that Microsoft had it not so long ago, and only one question at a time, because the grading coach gets very confused when you actually put multi-part questions in contrast with other LLMs. Effective presentations with AI. You can create PowerPoint slides. That's pretty much it here. Not a lot more. I'll be honest, Copilot has never been able to create a good presentation slide for me, but if you have the premium version again, you can just move stuff around and say, create me speaker notes that can be useful. Usually that's one of the most tedious parts for me when I need to create a slide deck, that I also need to create the actual speaker notes. But as with all AI content, we know that you should always triple check what's happening and never just take the LLM output as your actual stuff. Inbox to impact. This is the one that I wish my organization had, where you can actually summarize Copilot, have Copilot summarizing your Outlook. You can have all your emails that you haven't read or emails that you have with a certain keyword. Hey, I've been working on this sales analysis for this region. Search for me for any of those emails for the last month. Now, don't get me wrong. Outlook search is very bad. I don't know why Microsoft still can't figure out after these years how to search something in your email, but Copilot has the advantage that it's integrated with Microsoft Graph and it can go through your files and everything that you own. It's never bad on that. But again, I don't have access to it. Unfortunately, I just need to do it the old way. Data insights with AI. This one is interesting because it has Copilot with three different sites. When you have a workbook, you can always say edit with Copilot. So you can say, hey, Copilot, here you have fun, reorder this table this way, give me this text in this way, or create me a derived column, and Copilot will come with a formula. You can also create virtual environments for Python. You can actually create a Python-powered future heat test forecasting, but usually what they mean by that is regression. Very similar concept, but a little bit different. And finally, you can use the analyst agent to just get data from multiple sites on the web. You could get it from all your OneDrive files, from all your Excel files, and look into all of them. But again, I have never been able to do that because I do not have the premium version of Copilot, unfortunately. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, you can do a lot of things here. I will walk you really quickly through this. You can do things like sorting, filtering, and highlighting, but again, that's nothing that you cannot do regularly. But I would say pivot tables are a more elaborated stuff that you probably want to do yourself. But Copilot could do it, but again, AI can have like mistakes. Exploratory stuff is very nice though. You could get averages, you could get the sum of some values, you could get I need this to know this thing, I need to know the distinct labels here. If you don't want to just do the distinct function, that could be useful for you. And you can always get web data for Excel insights. How does this compare to the market insights or things like that, etc. But as you can see here, it says it depends on your configuration. And yeah, I will not be able to do it because I don't have the premium version. But all right, overall, why do I think this is outdated? I think that a lot of this optimization from the more business side can really be more of slow down more than an advantage. You will need to double check the AI output all the time. That's just a fact at this point. And I mean, models are hitting a plateau lately. They are becoming smarter, yes, but hallucinations can be very bad. And a lot of times you may just be better off if you had done it yourself. What I think we're gonna go more through is for sure more agentic AI, and I don't mean copilot agents because they are being reabsorbed into the main copilot agent, but create an actual agent, create an actual automated workflow that doesn't rely just on here you have this very elaborated prompt and these different things and just run it through Copilot or whichever AI that you have there. I think the era of those chat-based versions, that is where a lot of these actual certifications are focused, is for better or worse coming to an end. And we see that also with cheaper models. Copilot is not cheap, especially at the enterprise level. It can become very expensive. If your organization has a premium version, there you go. There is a lot of things, a lot of fancy things that you can do. You could get through all your different files, summarized version. You can compare Excel files. You can get your email summarized. But unfortunately, I don't. And I don't really have an interest on getting it just because of certification. But again, pretty good certification if you just need something to do with Copilot and you have the premium version. If you don't, unfortunately, half of what is here is not going to apply to you. But yeah, that's pretty much everything for today. And as always, thank you for watching my channel. Bye bye.